Welcome back to game number 2 of Team Cyclones versus Rage Esports in the Dota League Season number 5's European Division 2. Team Cyclones, they don't really have too much to lose here as it is, just because whether they win or lose, they're going to be in Division 2 for next season anyway. No way for them to advance to the Division 1 and 2 playoffs, no way for them to drop down either to the Division 2 and 3 playoffs or straight out Division 3, unless they disband. So I suppose there is one way for that to happen, but really don't think that's going to be the case. As for Rage, winning this one will mean that they don't have to go into Division 2 and playoffs. They can just straight out start from Division 2 next season. But here we are, game number 2 already underway, the draft. I am Couchor from HeflaTV and I'm going to be joined by Mr. Blakadder, who did go for some tea. Are you back?
I'm back. I literally got sat down just in time. We're underway for game 2, it seems.
And what we can already see, Cyclones, IO banned out.
I'm not surprised. If that wasn't banned out, I would be very concerned.
So now it's time for Rage to just go normal tiny with Troll Warlord.
Normal Tiny and Troll Warlord? Yeah, it could be an option. However, I do expect a Troll Warlord ban. It's been such a powerful hero in recent weeks, hell, recent months. It's just so well synergized with Battle Trance, and then you've got the Juggernaut, who's an option, the Tiny, who's always the threat. One thing I would love to see, and we still haven't, Troll Warlord, Chaos Knight.
Yeah, that's just we're never going to see that, I think.
If anyone who plays games in the JDL wants to draft me a Chaos Knight in a Warlock game, my infinite thanks.
Well, you're going to have to get in contact with... I'm pretty sure some teams... Had you approached Cyclones with that kind of a question earlier, or request, they may have even just granted it to you. Just because they really have nothing to lose here. Win or lose, they're still in Division 2 for next season. So, man, you missed your opportunity here.
We'll see. Who knows? Some team may give me what I would love to see. You know me, I love the
It's like either the Warlock or Chaos Knight. Getting both of those in one game, it's going to be hard. And I think we have a remake. Oh yeah, we have a remake, so never mind that.
Oh, seems we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, they're probably waiting for us in the lobby now. They're like, oh, where are those casters? Where are you?
Not our fault. Not our fault. What was the password? It was that.
Yes, exactly. That, and that. Guys, try it out. It's gonna work for sure.
Best encryption.
I noticed at the same time that they said it on Skype anyway for us to rejoin. Just because, well, I was like, what the hell? It's taking way too long for just first bans. But it was from the first game's lobby. There was still the time penalty for one team because Rage was late. So that's why they remade.
Ah, I see. I suppose that's understandable. If the time penalty is enforced, it's rules. Rules are rules.
They are, and well, to be honest, they're really lax as it is anyway for joining Dota League, because 30 minutes to show up is way too long of a time. It's just like teams, they don't even bother showing up on time. It's like, oh, you're gonna have less draft time for one game. Woo, big deal.
It's all... Wait, what? Where's the bans?
It takes some time sometimes when loading in. Yeah, there they are.
That glitch I haven't seen in a long time. Holy hell. Usually it's quite responsive. Who knows? We've had some problems with Dota
I didn't
servers
even
lately.
notice, and then you said it, and you made me panic for a second. But I was like, wait a minute, I've had that.
You know what? I'll blame it on the Year Beast. Everything is the Year Beast's fault.
Oh, don't even mention the Year Beast. Oh wow.
However, we're off to a fast start, it seems. And well, I think you need to go wash your mouth out after me mentioning those words, but it seems there'll be an IO first ban, followed by the Axe, no VS, and there will be no Troll Warlord.
And Troll is a fun hero to see. Same with the Axe. Vengeful, of course, is like... It's not the flashiest of plays, but it's just such a good hero all around. You have additional damage, you have the ability to speed up Roshan by a huge amount, and of course you have a stun, a way to save teammates. Just such a good all-arounder, but Rage now... They had their first pick, since they did go with an IO Tiny as the secondary picks last game. Really don't know what to expect from them, like, strategy-wise anymore. Juggernaut first pick is always going to be decent. Even a Batrider first pick, knowing that eventually Spanned wouldn't be that bad.
Well, we'll see what they'll give us this game. It might be some good fun. But I do wonder, we could get some good fun going with the Warlock. Give me the Warlock, boys. Shadow Fiend to start out for Rage, so we're going to have Requiem. One of my favourite spells in the game when I'm casting. More so than Black Hole. Requiem can just level teams.
Well, it levels a player for sure if you just use him up, for example, before, but Cyclones, they go for Sniper, which is kind of considered to be the counter to the Shadow Fiend for the most part. Batrider, of course, will be there as well, gonna take advantage of the fact that Vengeful isn't around. Cyclones, though, they also had the Batrider last game, did do a fairly decent job, I'd say. Maybe the biggest mistake was not spending the last and killing off the IO once, but not too sure if it would have made a big difference by the end of it anyway, as Rage. They're gonna go for a Clockwork, also a great hero in dealing with the Sniper. That is given that you land a hookshot, though.
Yeah, I suppose the way to approach a sniper is the same way you approach a Drow Ranger. You get up in his face and don't let him move. Clockwork does that brilliantly. Hookshot, it's just such a good spell. And you consider the kind of synergy we're looking for here for Rage. I already see a good amount here. We've got 8 seconds when you max the cogs of terrain control or, well, terrain domination through cogs. Throw in a Requiem. You can drop the cogs and then Requiem the guy inside the cogs. You can loop the Shadow Fiend in round back, use the Requiem in the back lines, using the cogs to separate the team. There's just so much synergy between these two heroes, and it gives you infinite possibilities with the combo of raises as well. With the cogs, you can hit guaranteed 2 raises and then reposition slightly for the third. It makes it so easy to land things as the Shadow Fiend. And what are we looking to really go with this, I wonder, considering out come the bans, Drow banned out by Cyclones, and Rage will remove themselves the Dazzle and the Earthshaker.
Well, Dazzle Earthshaker do make sense as bans, first of all, because Cyclones, they are completely lacking supports for now. So just removing the more annoying ones. I mean, Dazzle can make it so that even a straight up Requiem of Souls will not kill a hero. Getting that off in time, the Shallow Grave, may be a little bit tricky if it's really like Yules into Requiem of Souls, but still has the ability to save the hero, if not for like infinity, at least for another 5 seconds. But Cyclones just focusing more so on the core, especially one at least, an extremely tanky core. Cyclones did run into the problem of lacking the damage. This time around, Sniper may be able to remedy that by a little bit, but I'd like for Cyclones' second core to also be a kind of a heavy damage dealer. Although Storm Spirit once again wouldn't be the most horrible for now.
Well, a Storm Spirit to get on top of the snipe. You mean a Storm Spirit for Cyclones, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. A Storm Spirit to get on top of the Shadow Fiend, I can sort of understand. Problem. If the Storm Spirit decides to ball on top of a Shadow Fiend and the Shadow Fiend dies, it could take the Storm with him. It's not one of the favourable picks for it, personally. But
I just had a mental image of, well, seeing it happen in the past. So Storm Spirit's probably maybe not the greatest of heroes, but there aren't that many ranged heroes that can just keep a distance and still be actually useful in the game. I suppose Wind Ranger once again may also be a thing for Cyclones, but they go for a Crystal Maiden over a Lion, which I find extremely weird. Crystal Nova, how useful is it gonna be in supplying mana to the Sniper and Batrider so far, or what other heroes could they go for that really need the Arcane Aura even?
Well, if they're going for low mana pool, low regen hero, there we go. I was going to say they could be looking at a Lifestealer or the Chaos Knight. Both of those can benefit quite nicely from the Arcane Aura. Hell, any agility carrier who doesn't have brilliant int gain benefits quite a lot from Arcane Aura. Anti-Mage is a good one to note because he can just keep blinking around endlessly even before he gets himself the full Battle Fury, because that does give him a good amount of mana regen. But as I look at it, Crystal Maiden is a very unorthodox pick, especially when Lion is still available. I mean, I would hands down prefer a controller Lion can give you over a Crystal Maiden. I would also prefer a Witch Doctor over a Crystal Maiden. Still, Crystal Maiden does have her uses, and we could be looking at the kind of 4-role CM that can get that extra gold and then start to abuse the Freezing Field. Freezing Field does quite a good amount of damage these days, and is one of those large-scale ultimates that a lot of people ignore. But if you ignore a Crystal Maiden who's casting Freezing Field, you will die. Freezing Field does an insane amount of damage.
I saw that freezing field in work just a couple of days ago, I think it was. It's really just Crystal Maiden. If you do not fall behind early, you can get a hell of a lot accomplished. Even without the freezing field, just Frostbite and Crystal Nova can have its uses for sure. Crystal Nova, nice AoE, just slow, little bit of a nuke as well at the same time. And not only does it slow the movement speed, it also slows attack speed, which can be a great deal at some times. So Crystal Maiden, I kind of like her in the 4th position, but I just think Lion probably is better in general, but Crystal Maiden, not too bad. But you definitely must not fall behind early.
Yeah. I suppose there's one thing the Crystal Maiden does a lot better than a Lion. The Crystal Maiden can farm the jungle reliably. Frostbite the big creep, get the levels, get the experience in the jungle. However, in that kind of role, I prefer, say, an Enchantress. I mean, she can punish with the impetus, she can do good amounts of right-click, she has good creep control considering she steals creeps, and then on top of all of that, there are other options that can go into the jungle as well. I mean, Chen, if you've got a good Chen player. Enigma. So this Crystal Maiden could feel a bit out of place.
Oh god, Crystal Maiden always may end up as Crystal Fieden, but hopefully this won't be one of those, because I really like the hero, I like playing it as well, apart from the low movement speed, otherwise it's fine. But Rage now will get themselves a Mirana. Can this be a core Mirana, or is it a Lion Mirana support duo?
I believe this to be a Lion Mirana support duo. This combined with, say, the Clockwork. Clockwork goes in, gets the cogs on someone. Easy arrow. That'll set up quite nicely. Lion, Hex, Impale, these set up very nicely for the Earthspike, even set up very nicely for an arrow as well. Moonlight Shadow lets the Clockwork get on top of people. Lets the Shadow Fiend get on top of people. It's very powerful. And if this is a core Mirana, I'll be very surprised, considering I would expect core-wise something that's got a good long range, long duration stun, possibly, or against Crystal Maiden and Sniper. A Morphling, actually. A Morphling would be very powerful.
Morphling definitely does have the mobility to try either just get close to a Sniper if need be, have the escape from a Lifestealer if necessary, or if you're really fast with your fingers, especially if you build a Lincoln Sphere, which isn't all that bad an item on Morphling, you can just replicate or waveform away from the Batrider trying to jump you.
Well, that could certainly be the case, and now we see a Nature's Prophet for Cyclones. I'm not too sure I like the Prophet pickup here. I mean...
Jungle Prophet and 5 position Crystal? No, please no.
Well,
let it not be a Crystal Fieden.
Either it's going to be a Batrider off lane, Nature's Prophet in the jungle, which means Crystal Maiden will get less from the jungle, and that invalidates what I said before about the Lion having less impact in the jungle, because the Crystal Maiden won't be able to use that. Or it's Batrider jungling, who's going to be stacking a big camp and maybe a medium camp, which means the Crystal Maiden can still get some farm from the jungle, and then it'll be Nature's Prophet in the off lane, which makes arguably more sense to me for Cyclones. But the flip side of this coin, now we get a pickup of a Juggernaut for Rage. I'm going to immediately come out and say my bet is on Rage.
So I'm gonna have to go with Cyclones then? I'm gonna go with Cyclones.
We'll see if I can't.
I have no idea though how Juggernaut managed to just slip through the pool up until the 5th pick. I really just kind of expected it to be banned out. I didn't even think about the Juggernaut being there.
Well,
but so Cyclones lineup is just way too weird for my liking, but I'm gonna go with them anyway.
Faceless Void was also there. They could have gone for Faceless instead of Juggernaut.
No, Juggernaut
would be a good amount of control, but Juggernaut in this case I think is better.
Juggernaut only slash into the tree and it's best value, dude.
you've got Spin, you've got Omni, you've got a good amount of ways to control up said Lifestealer, who might actually become quite the big problem in this game if he's not dealt with adequately. You've got, of course, Nature's Prophet, who I'm hoping we see a fighter Prophet here, because I don't think a split push Prophet is going to be viable enough. We're looking for maybe a Orchid Desolator kind of build just to get in and right-click heavy and hard.
Orchid definitely won't be bad, until, of course, Juggernaut gets either a Manta Style or a BKB. Probably only going to be a Manta Style, don't think you really need a BKB this game on a Juggernaut. And can the Juggernaut be considered, I wouldn't say counter to the Lifestealer, but usually like magic damage doesn't work. Juggernaut definitely has a high amount of physical damage, whether it be with the Omnisys or just pure right clicks using the passive, the Blade Dance, getting those crits going. So quite possibly Juggernaut can even man fight a Lifestealer, which cannot be said for a lot of melee heroes in all fairness.
If he wants to man fight the Lifestealer, I will put the stipulation that he requires a Basher for this game. I mean, we might be looking at Mask of Madness into Manta into Basher on Mitza for this Juggernaut.
Oh.
It does make a lot of sense when you think about it.
Twitch chat is sometimes the worst place, but at the moment it's the best place because Crystal Maiden won't be a maiden anymore after this game. Those guys.
Doesn't Lena have a line similar to that? But either way, I suppose we should get our formalities out of the way, Couchor.
So, for the side of Rage on the Radiant side, if they secure this win, they're going to be able to stay in Division 2 without having to go through some rough playoffs. So for them, Inuyasha will be leading the charge on the Shadow Fiend with Flash on the Lion, Mitza, Raijin playing the Juggernaut with Hoodoo on the Clockwork, and Emon Dantes on the Mirana.
And of course, on the flip side of this coin, down for the Cyclones, we've got Wiwi Wambo on the Crystal Maiden, who will probably get completely defiled in this game. We've got KK Zor handling the Sniper. We've got Wuxia on the Batrider, reprising his role, I believe, from game number 1. Up near the mid lane, we do have Ascendancy on that Lifestealer. This Naix will have to do quite a bit of heavy lifting in this game. And finally, of course, we do have, still in the base, Area 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Nature's Prophet. We do see that early invasion with the smoke come out of Rage, and what are they going to do? They're going to ward every single viable
Wombo, no,
jungle
no,
camp.
do not run that way, do not run that way, you're dead.
Well, I'm certainly feeling very confident in my bet right now, Couchor.
Well, all I can say is the same happened last time. So all is fine. It's just the start of the game, and it's only a Crystal Fiend. No worries. I mean, that hero is expected to die. He just did, or she just did, what was asked of her.
So she did her duty.
Exactly. The thing
I
is
see.
now, look at the camps. 3 sentry wards to just make this Nature's Prophet more or less completely useless.
And the pool blocked as well. 4, if you count the Observer. This is actually a very nice play coming out of Rage. It's going to limit what Cyclones can get in the first few minutes. Nature's Prophet will find very limited amounts here. Wiwi Wambo will find very limited amounts here. This is good. This is very good.
One thing, by the way, also that chat brought to my attention. Well, they didn't even bring it to my attention, but they made my brain click. There were talks of Hodor before, and I swear to God, when I was about to announce the Clockwork, I was so close to saying Hodor.
Speaking of Clockwork, he does get caught by a Frostbite, but now comes to turn around and punish, throwing some damage into Wiwi Wambo, threatening the TP in from that Nature's Prophet as well. So it's going to be an interesting top lane if Hoodoo wants to play that aggressive route. Do you reckon we're going to see the aggressive route, though, and the cogs to punish?
It's just so hard to get for them to get the kill on Clockwork. Maybe if they have the perfect like nature tree and block going, they definitely can do it as mid lane. They get the stun onto the Sniper somehow, and that's gonna be another kill for them until Area arrives. They get the counter kill before Emon Dantes. He may even lose his life. Nope, has to leap, is level 2, so he's gonna be fine for now. But them getting the kill before Sniper died, that was pretty impressive. Was it? I think at least probably a couple of low ground to high ground misses were involved.
Yeah, those misses can be such a pain.
Gets pushed back by the Cogs 3 times. 3 times he got pushed by the Cogs, completely out of mana.
This is the thing about Clockwork. If you want to play aggressive and you use the cogs to punish, then there's nothing Ascendancy can do. I mean, consider this right now. We've got 2 points up in Battery Assault. If Hodo catches Ascendancy alone in the cogs, that's a dead Lifestealer. How many times can you really say that? Considering he's got no mana. He can't rage. He can't open wounds even right now. That's a really big thing.
One of the additional reasons why Lifestealer just isn't picked up. Of course, they're with a dual lane there. If they just had a proper third support, they could still just wreck this Clockwork so easily. 2 minutes, like get 1 additional stun and Clockwork dead, bye-bye. But he's just hanging around for so long, even with the Orb of Venom being there. Things definitely not easy. Lasted-wise, though, if you look at it across the map, Batrider doing a tad bit better than the Clockwork is, both level and farm-wise. All levels will pretty even for now. But even though the Nature Prophets, most of his camps have been blocked, he's not go. Oh, never mind this Observer Ward. What? It doesn't block the camp? Really? Well, now
This
he blocked
one-
it himself with a treant, but...
That one should actually block, but now we're going to see a bit of aggression from Hodo again. This time he gets caught in the trees, punished by the Nature's Prophet. This is actually very good here for Cyclones if they can get the kill on Hodo. And that will be a kill for...
pushed again by the Cogs, just trying to get by them somehow, but nice kill, definitely so. I did say that they kind of need like the perfect re-amp block, and this was definitely near perfect at the moment. Blocking him at every step, and this... Well, I really want to find out if this blocks. I know that I normally would position it a little bit to the right, like straight under the tree most.
Yeah, so would I. I think that might just be outside of the box if it respawns at 4 minutes.
It does still give a pretty nice vision of the support roaming, and to be honest, this ward, well, if there would be sentries that isn't Cyclones, but usually at least like one support does start with sentries just to make sure that you can pull through. So if this ward blocked, it would be almost a guaranteed sentry straight out, because that's like one of the easiest wards to sentry. So maybe it was intentional, although it being that close to the block spot, it probably isn't intentional, but it's not the worst outcome because it still gets the vision.
Well, it doesn't actually block. They actually misplaced it. I believe it needs to just be a bit to the right. But if this keeps up, I mean, limited camps for the Nature's Prophet to farm, and he's still finding some gold, which is a good thing. So now we've got Ascendancy trying to be very ballsy onto Hodo, uses his rage to try to get aggressive, and now we've even got the Nature's Prophet coming in just to help out with those right clicks. Can they finish him off? He missed the Sprout, unfortunately. One right click. It isn't enough. Area can't finish the job. And the Orb of Venom ticks down. He's got 3 health left. Now comes the Rockets to respond, at least to harass a little bit, and I'm surprised the Clockworks managed to escape that one. Speaking of escape, Inuyasha might be in some trouble as he's trading blows with KKZor. KKZor in that mid lane, he can turn and fight this Shadow Fiend, especially with that Shrapnel. That's Shrapnel number 2. I believe we've got 1 more available and ready. But Inuyasha, he should be fine at this point. He's far up on his high ground. There's no stuns that can lock him down. Weeby Wambo is a bit slow in coming in, so he's good. He's good. Could have been a bit of a brawl, though, if they'd chosen to right-click each other.
I mean, the sniper did go in with that thought in mind, I think, but suddenly he's like, hey, I'm not doing that much damage. Shadowfiend, he's hitting like for 40 extra damage than I do, and now suddenly KKZor in so much trouble. Nice Frostbite comes out, arrow will get dodged, but KKZor with a few Shadow Races loses his life. With the help of a nice TP though, they get 1 in return, although they lose another one. Shadow Races are just so ridiculously strong, although 2 stacks of Sticky Napalm. Is it gonna be free? Wusha, he gets the 3rd one as well. They need an arrow, which is gonna be off cooldown in 1 second. Shadowfiend bottling up a couple of Shadow Races. The arrow to land Inuyasha, still alive, and they're gonna get area with the help of the Rocket Flare.
Oh wow, that was not what I expected to happen. Not at all. The fact that Inuyasha survives that, he's got 1,400 gold now. That is insane. He's level 7 at 6 minutes. He's got 1,500 gold on top of already having Boots and Bottle.
Mirana in the meantime assassinated, so they get something for the sniper, but that engagement was horrible. I really thought they're gonna kill the Shadow Fiend, but a couple of bottle charges, nice arrow by the Mirana there. Oh wow, Cyclones not looking all that great at the moment. Of course their lineup is really weird, although so far Nature's Prophet, considering that he had like the majority of his jungle blocked off early on, he hasn't been doing that bad of a job. I mean, he's been somewhat active, been part of 3 of the 4 kills that their team has gotten. Not to say that a normal support wouldn't have been even better, but he's doing a fairly decent job at the moment.
He's doing a lot of fight initiation, which does help. And speaking of fight initiation, Hodo going to be in a lot of trouble. Ascendancy will finish him off. Now we've got the TP in from Flash on that Lion. 1 more right click will seal the deal, and they'll kill off the Lifestealer. And they can't really continue on Weeby Wambo, unfortunately. But at least it's a kill for a kill. They kill the core of the Lifestealer. But coming back to that Nature's Prophet for a half second, yeah, he's had a lot of impact on all of these fights, which is what you need to do on a Nature's Prophet. The more input you have to all of the fights on the map, the better. And he is going for what looks like the 3-null Blade Mail route. And now in comes... Oh, Inuyasha. This could be bad.
Lasso, though.
Oh, without Lasso, this really isn't that much of a threat. Hodo coming in, doing what he can. Does have that hook shot. Does go straight on to KKZor. Catches him within the cogs. This is going to be very bad for that sniper. In fact, that's a dead sniper. Nothing he can do as Clockwork finishes him off. But might pay for it with his life. He will get burned down by Wusha on that Batrider.
Oh god, just once again an unfavorable trade. Just even if the Clockwork would be more farmed than the Sniper, it's just the fact that Sniper is so crucial for Cyclone's success, especially considering Lifestealer not having that great of a time. It's not the worst either, I mean, it has died once, but last hit numbers are pretty much up there. Of course, Midsa in the meantime, Juggernaut enjoying absolute free farm. Level 8, gonna go for the Mask of Madness. Really like that he at least has a match stick as well, of course. Being up against a Batrider, it only makes sense to have it. But it just makes it so that you can quite reliably use Healing Ward, Blade Fury, and Omniscience, all three of those.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. And now we get an arrow mid lane. Oh, not going to catch, unfortunately. But if they can just keep the pressure up and keep Mitsa farming on this Juggernaut, that's going to be pretty damn huge. And we could be looking for an Omnislash here. Wusha, is he going to run away? No, he's just going to get right-clicked here. Does get lassoed back into the tower. This could go so horribly wrong. Omni connects on 2 hits. Can he finish him off? One more right-click would be needed to crit, but now in comes the TP from area. This is the threat you have to deal with whenever you're coming up against a Nature's Prophet. Any dive will be heavily punished, but Mitsa should be able to escape. No, oh no, he gets sniped. There's no way to escape that one as KKZor picks up the easy kill.
That is a pretty huge kill at it as well. First of all, the Omnislash is going to be on cooldown, so for about another 2 minutes or a minute and a half, whoever is going to be on the offlane doesn't have to be worried about just getting Omnislash in the face and die straight out. And Batrider, he played it rather perfectly. He hung around the initial creep wave for long enough, then lassoed the Juggernaut closer to his own next incoming creep wave, and that really saved him. That 1 bounce going into the creeps there, I think it was, maybe even 2. Just without that, Batrider easily dead, and they don't get the kill on Juggernaut. Juggernaut probably makes it out as well after that. So really well played.
Yeah, it all came down to that 1 bounce going on the creeps. 2 were on the hero. If the 3rd was there, that would be a kill on the Batrider and maybe an escape as well from the Juggernaut. But I suppose we should mention the most important item that's now come online for Rage. Yule's Scepter for Inuyasha. That is a very quick Yule's as well. That's a sub 10 minute Yule's Bottle Boots.
Just 3, 1, and 3. Such a great KDA at the moment for the Shadow Fiend. And of course, last hit numbers, definitely not too bad either. Do they still have some stacks going for themselves? There is a double stack in the middle big camp. But who do now? With an Invis Rune level 7, wants to set up an easy kill on the Sniper, I think. And with the Invis Rune, it really should be easy. Just hookshot into Cogs, or never mind, Sniper. He's staying really far back. They didn't even see the Invis getting picked up, I think, but they're just cautious just in case.
Well, they need to be cautious in all honesty if they want to take the series 2-0, but looking at the bot lane for a moment, can we see an attempt on Mitsa's life, do you reckon? They need to rotate and kill this Juggernaut a few times, personally, and they do have that lasso available.
Then again, Omnislash will also come off cooldown in only 2 seconds. I'm not too sure of how well Batrider has it timed down though. If he knows exactly that Omnislash is there, he's definitely going to stay a little bit back, although he's getting close to the blink. And it's going to be a pretty slow one, just because, well, their own jungle is being farmed up by the Nature Prophet. That is like always one of the downsides to, I think, running a Batrider as an offlaner and a jungler at the same time. Just, Batrider, usually you would 90% out of 100, you would just like to go into the jungle to finish that blink a hell of a lot faster.
Sooner he finishes that blink, the better. But now, pressure coming onto that tier 1 mid from Rage. If they can get some form of aggression on this tower, that's going to be very nice. But there is, of course, the threat of Hodo from the sideline. And Hodo is a complete surprise here. Wee Wee Wambo doesn't know about his existence. He didn't see him at all. And, oh, now there's the ping. Walk past the ward. But Hodo, he could have made some very big plays there. In fact, he might look for Wusha instead. But going on a Batrider as a Clockwork is a much harder task.
Well, they are at least attempting a couple of TPs from area there. Maybe wanted to go for Flash on the Lion. Is level 6, but then again, if you get slowed down and a raged Nax is running at you, even a Lion can't do anything at all. So it's not too bad against Lion, but the thing is, Rage, it doesn't last nearly as long as a fresh BKB would. Armlet will help out a little bit in possibly trying to survive, but only level 9 on Ascendancy at the moment. Really hasn't gone that well. Didn't get off to such a great start to go for a Hand of Midas either, really.
So, but a Midas, I don't think a Midas is the right choice in this game. Because you're going to be fighting so early, at least mathematically looking at these drafts, you'd be thinking you'd be fighting early. A Midas could be heavily punished.
Now, I mean, Ascendancy just, he didn't get the farm anyway to go for like a super early Midas. If you like, sometimes it's like you get like First Blood and uninterrupted farm. That's when you can pick up a Hand of Midas if you get it like 5 minutes, maybe even earlier than 5 in. But at the moment, definitely not one of those games with the way things started. But Batrider gets his Blink Dagger. Midas also going to be finished an area on the Nature's Prophet. So they're going to have some farm going their way. If you look at the graphs, it's about a 900 net worth lead for Cyclones. XP, only 500, so not a big difference at all. But this Blink Batrider with also the ability for Nature's Prophet to TP in, it should in theory net them some easy kills. But Rage, they are somewhat grouped up with a 3-man smoke. And oh god, poor Nature's Prophet is gonna get the end of it.
If they catch this Prophet, that's going to be pretty damn big. And it's another case of this could be a really big punish on the Midas. I mean, I really don't like the pickup of Midas in this game. If he had gone for a Blade Mail, he'd at least be able to stand a little stronger and help his team get some kills there. As we see the rotation in, thinking the Requiem, but Requiem cancels out, gets it off finally. Can they finish off Wee Wee Wamba? And you're actually in a lot of trouble. Ascendancy gets caught by the hookshot though. Arrow goes through, unfortunately catches the creep, but Snipe finishes off that Shadow Fiend at least, and now they get Hodo as well. Double kill on KK Zor, and KK Zor's starting to pick up momentum again. Shades of game 1.
So theoretically, Cyclones only lost 2 supports. Nature's Prophet, it's really hard to think about that hero as a support, and he did go for the Hand of Midas, and I think Nature's Prophet Hand of Midas for me is always going to be fine, because although you can still farm otherwise, if you have 3 other cores, they just want to take farm elsewhere. As Emon, Danta is now forced to leap out, so no Assassinate to come unless a few heroes catch him, and in the meantime, Mitsa trying to TP out Flame Break, cancels it just in time, and with the infest damage, that is kill secured. So they just killed 3 of Rage's cores within the last minute.
Rage have unfortunately fallen on a few hard times in the last few minutes, it seems. They had such a good amount of momentum going, but now it's punished.
Level 4 as well. Where's the TP from Nature's Prophet? Gonna come in. Flash just gonna TP out, those really smart plays.
It's the thing he needed to do. To be fair, this is the thing with Wee Wee Wambo. If he leads with Frostbite, then people are just going to TP out. He needs to threaten a bit more before he can really do that. And he's sort of lucky the Lion didn't have Finger of Death, because Finger of Death will outright kill that Crystal Maiden near enough with one Earth Spike.
They probably, or he probably had it timed down, I believe. Just, I'm not sure, but Crystal Maiden herself may have died to the same finger beforehand. So it's a really long cooldown on level 1, 160 seconds. So it's not that hard to time it. You don't even have to time it to the second. It's like, you can say in 2 minutes it's gonna be up, and it's even gonna be a little bit time to spare for you to play cautiously as Hoodoo now. Gonna get slowed down by the Shrapnel, and with an Assassinate I think he's gonna go down, yeah. Area was even waiting for him. So another kill for them. The momentum shift is real.
Yeah, this is Cyclone changing gears. They're getting quite a bit of momentum behind them, and if they can just keep this kind of thing up, that'll be pretty good for them. I mean, I could see them taking this game if they can buy time for that Lifestealer. And we haven't really spoken much about Ascendancy's Lifestealer, have we? He's got himself an Armlet and a full Yasha, so we're looking for Sanjin Yasha in this case, which means a good amount of right-click. Of course, the MAME, which probably one of the best patch notes in the entire history of the last patch, was the fact that MAME now has a sound effect, so you know when it triggers.
Best change.
I seriously, that change is just so good.
I was totally expecting like something else, I don't know, that would actually make the item better or the main better. Nope, has a sound effect. Oh, Lasso in the meantime with the lifesteal bomb. Mitsato, not an easy target to go for. Omni Slash comes out, probably not gonna get the kills, and well, he's gonna lose his life, and Omni Slash is just on cooldown on top of it.
Yeah, but now it comes the Moonlight Shadow from Inuyasha. If they catch anyone here looking for the Requiem, do we have it? Yes, we do. Is it going to be enough to kill him, though? I don't think it is. 1 raise plus Requiem, nowhere near enough. As this is with a maximum amount of souls, but 2 raises land and will at least finish off that pesky little nature's rat. But now comes the chase, the little bit of play around with Ascendancy, and this is the thing. Inuyasha has that haste rune. Haste on Shadow Fiend. There is no way to stop him. But now Mask of Madness KK Zor comes in, and the sniper could at least threaten. He's going to take the creep wave and force Inuyasha back out of the lane for now. But a little flurry and a kill apiece for both of these teams.
It's at the moment the case that Nature's Prophet tried to come in to help the Lifestealer, but paid the price himself. It's always sad to see that happen. I mean, Nature's Prophet, not considered as a support probably, but even then tried to come help and didn't work out. If that happens in a pub, I'm like, just let those retards die. What are they doing that far up anyway? Of course, this time around, they got the kill on Juggernaut and it wasn't such a case.
The Batrider does get caught by the Lion. Hookshot doesn't quite land. Oh, just too short. Literally millimeters too short. And Flash now going to be in a lot of trouble. Blink forward by Wesher. That's going to be enough to finish off that Lion. Ascendancy charging down. Has that Yasher, of course. He is fast. And it seems it's Nake's Bomb time again. This is quite scary. You normally associate a Nake's Bomb with, say, oh, a Storm Spirit. But on this Batrider, it's working quite nicely, isn't it, Couchor?
Definitely not too bad of a hero to carry that Nake's with at the moment of Mitza. He's eyeing out the sniper, of course. Without an Omni Slash, it's going to be so much harder for him to secure the kill then again. Invis will last longer than the Omni Slash cooldown is, therefore. So Mitza, he definitely wants to get it. Are the Treants close by to KK's Orb because they know Juggernaut has an Invis? They may have spotted it out with the Observer Ward that they have. That's a really heads-up play if he was keeping the Treants close to Sniper just in case the Juggernaut pops out.
Quite possibly. Arrow's going to actually fly through and miss Washer. It seems it could be the order of business, but Blink forward actually by Wusha manages to find himself, and Edmund Dante is going to be a nice kill the way of Ascendancy, and possibly a tier 1 in the mid lane as well. He is, however, shrapneling the tower. Why would you shrapnel the tower as the sniper?
Just in case somebody wants to come in and deny, so you slow them automatically. I don't know, probably something like that. Or
Possible.
maybe it's just a habit from the older days.
I suppose it's possible, but you're actually going to continue moving on the map. He does have that Blink Dagger now, so he's going to be a little bit more of a threat, and he's building towards that BKB, so once he's got that BKB online, he's not going to fear that Crystal Maiden anymore. But Requiem winds up, Wusha will go down. Inuyasha, Wusha, I'm going to get names confused at this rate.
Flash also gets his Blink Dagger gold now after that assist on the Lion there, so Lion about to hit level 11, gonna get the increased damage of the ability, of course, plus the 60-second lower cooldown, so gonna drop down to only 800. So this Blink on Lion is gonna be absolutely massive, and Cyclones, I mean, apart from the Batrider being there, their initiation power really isn't that great. Their zoning is decent with mostly using the shrapnel there, but Moonlight Shadow, oh, this can be so bad.
Yeah, but that shrapnel's going to slow him down. Is it enough? No, Wambo will eat the Omni, and, well, that's a dead Crystal Maiden.
I mean, it's considering they had a Nature Prof and a Sniper also running away at the same time, losing a Crystal Maiden is perfectly acceptable for Cyclones.
Yeah, pretty much I'd agree with that. But question for you, Couchor. Do you think that it's... would you expect Crystal Maiden to have died more in this game so far? I mean, only 4 deaths at 20 minutes. Would you expect more deaths on this Crystal Maiden?
No. I never expect deaths on Crystal Maiden.
You liar. You horrible liar.
No, it's...
Top lane.
Well, they will get flash fast. He gets a Hex off Finger of Death as well, but too bad that Mitza completely bailed on his body there. He's like, yeah, I want no part of this. Just, I'm gonna make a run for it. Yes, you can expect any support to really die, but Crystal Maiden, although she's squishy and ends up with the nickname Crystal Feeding quite often, it's still been 4 kills, 21 minutes. It's not like Rage have been actively looking for pickoffs all the time. So I wouldn't say I'd expect more than 4 deaths at this point.
That's something we're going to have to keep tabs on. I'm going to say maybe 9 deaths before this game is over at this rate. But we're seeing a bit of pressure coming onto this tier 2. We need to see some form of defense from Rage here. If they just let Cyclone take these towers, that's going to play so heavily into their favor. And do we have a Requiem ready to go? Yes, we do. A full level 2 maximum souls Requiem. So they can do quite a bit of AoE damage. They just need to find the right opening. And of course, Ascendancy, they need to catch him off guard.
So if you're Cyclones at the moment, you're probably pretty happy about how you drafted things. I mean, not in general, but considering that Shadowfiend has finished at PKB now, they have Rage on the Lifestealer, so you can still just stand up to that. Oh, no lasso.
Nice blink.
Nice blink indeed. Earthspike as well comes out, although they get the Shrapnel so then Hoodoo even uses the hookshot plus the Power Cox, but Power Cox kind of block himself now. They do use the Yule Scepter. Bush is still alive, but how? Well, no, not for too long. That's the answer there, and Mitza will get area down with an easy Omni Slash.
Although, it's quite the turnaround, and Ascendancy's even in trouble. A couple of right clicks through from that Juggernaut, and that's 2 easy kills for Inuyasha. Now we have Wambo trying to do his thing, but oh, this could actually be very bad. Why would you run into that? This is the threat. You cannot underestimate that ability. As an easy kill again, going the way of the Lion. But that's a 4 for 2. The Clockwork was actually safe in the cogs. He had actually caught Lifestealer on the other side, so he could have ran away, but he hookshot in for some reason. And the Juggernaut decided to completely commit Sudoku. But at the end of the fight, it is favourable to Rage still.
I think Cyclones, they didn't have a unified decision whether to stay and fight, because Lifestealer, he was completely out of position and nobody was really targeting the sniper. Clockwork was already dead, the biggest threat. Omnislash had already been used. Finger of Death was on cooldown. To be honest, I have no idea why Sniper ran away from the position that he was in, because he could have just wreaked so much havoc there, just purely with right clicks, getting those headshot procs going. Them having a massive freezing field as well. I think that was just Sniper kind of bailing on his team. Maybe it was them just calling let's back off and some of the players just didn't listen.
Quite possibly. It may be a split decision there, but I do agree. If KKZor did hang around and just rain death from above, then it would have been very favourable for them. But that fight, easily the way of Rage, and Rage holding strong. However, we do now have that Maelstrom for KKZor, so this could be what was
They were just like getting a decent lead up to 3k net worth, 3k XP, suddenly XP in the favor of Rage from one fight, net worth only 1k difference, and what's the tower score even? 1 tower advantage for Cyclones for now, so more or less that is that 1k net worth.
I suppose that's probably a pretty decent way to look at it.
Haste Batrider.
Ooh, that is scary. Probably the best hero on the map other than the Shadow Fiend with a haste.
No bottle to put it in though, and since it was scouted by the Observer Ward of the Radiant, I'd be surprised if this haste actually landed the target.
Yeah, and look at the movement from Rage. They're all hanging together, pretty far back from the rune spot. So I doubt a kill will come from that haste rune. But all in all, it's pretty all-around good play from Rage for this game, considering they're not giving the Batrider all of the opportunities he wants. In fact, they're punishing it quite heavily. They're finding okay Requiems. They're having a bit of problems with the Lifestealer, but they're handling it. But Lifestealer now, what's he got flying out to him? He's got something on the Courier.
It's going to be a Basher, I think.
He got a Javelin.
There's
so
no point for a Monkey King bar, I think, this game. At least not yet.
It will be a Basher.
Then again, Juggernaut has also a Javelin in the inventory. Has a little bit more gold after that. Never mind, identical gold as well, but a sneaky Roshan. They did go in there with a Nature Prophet TP, having Ascendancy, just occupy Nature Prophet. Oh, Rocket Flare, such a great hero to have, and no minus armor, no mass amounts of damage against Roshan. This is way too risky, and they're gonna have to back off and leave Roshan as it is.
Yeah, and just look at the movements from the map, from Rage. They're coming towards the Roche pit in all aggression. Now they're going to have to fight into KKs, although Arrow Flies does land on area. That's a pretty good start. Dust will have a fly. They catch Rusha with a pretty damn good Earthspike coming out of Flash, but he'll go down to the I lose words, but Wee Wee Wambo is going to get caught either way, and he'll fall on that Crystal Maiden, even with that ultimate threatening that Juggernaut. He's not going to fall for the same mistake twice. He gets caught by the Flame Break. That's what he got caught by. I'll find my words eventually. And it'll be an easy Roshan for Rage.
Find it at half HP. Cyclones, huge mistake. It's a little bit like they tried to do it last game around with only the Storm Spirit and the Wind Ranger being in the pit. Dropping it down to like half HP, maybe a little bit less even, then losing a fight and losing the Aegis. So definitely, I mean, it was a nice move, but they should have backed off like the same second that Rocket Flare scouted them out. They just stuck around for like 5 to 10 extra seconds and got heavily punished by it. And really nicely done by Juggernaut as well, just running past everybody, finding the sniper and Omni slashing him down.
Yeah, that needed to happen, and now with the Juggernaut, he's got that item. What was I said in the draft? Juggernaut can go toe-to-toe with the Lifestealer as long as he gets a Basher. There's our Basher. In fact, what's the full amount of items on the Juggernaut we've got? Yasha, Basher, Mask of Madness. I mentioned the Manta as well. I think that's what he's going to come back for now. Maybe a Santon Yasha, who knows? But all in all, this is looking quite good for Rage.
It's definitely not bad, that's what we can say for sure, but Shadow Fiend, if he wasn't this damn farm, it would be pretty nice for Cyclone still, because even though Nature Prophet doesn't have an amazing amount of farm, thanks to the Hand of Midas he has something going for him, so he has the Ultimate Orb, another 2.3 after that. If it's a Hex in the making, it might be a just game changer all of a sudden, especially let's say you can Hex out a Juggernaut before he gets off even an Omnislash and kill him off that way, or maybe even on a Shadow Fiend. Of course, now for another 3.5 minutes, having the Aegis on Shadow Fiend is gonna make it so the Cyclones, they're gonna, at least I hope, fully focus on split pushing.
Yeah, and that's going to be what they're doing now. They're just going to push down all of the structures they can with a DD Shadow Fiend as well. This is going to be very worrying. But, of course, flip side of the coin, we do have a bit of a base race scenario going on here with Aereo, Wambo, who held the entire Cyclone team, bringing down a tier 2 for themselves as well, and a mass TP back here by Rage. They want to try to catch someone here and punish them, but who can they get? Ascendancy might be the victim here. We do have a Moonlight Shadow popped, but Arrow gonna fly. Do we catch it on anyone? No. Unfortunately, it won't land on Ascendancy. He's too fast. He is far too fast. This is what Sajin Yasha does, though. Just gives you all of that speed. Personally, I'd give it to the Clockwork. Clockwork's got a Ghost Scepter now. He's going to be pretty resistant to, say, the Lifestealer as well as the Prophet and the Sniper. He's tankier than the Lion by a factor of, I believe, nearly double the health pool. So yeah, I think Hoodoo should be the one to carry it in this case. And he's almost finished a full Aghanim Scepter as well. So once he's got that, it's going to be hard times for Cyclones, considering.
I totally found out that I managed to mute myself on OBS, but I have no idea for how long. Probably not too long. Maximum 2 minutes, because chat isn't whining about it yet, so it's fine.
Couchor, well played.
Well played. At least they
Well
heard you.
played.
That was all my intention. I wanted to give some focus on you. Show you some love.
I see. But as it stands, should we take a look at the graphs, Couchor?
Yes, we should. So, as you can see, a pretty steep climb in the favor of Rage at the moment. Only sitting at the 3k lead though. It's kind of a theme between those two teams. It feels like that one side doesn't hold a massive lead at any point in the game almost. I mean, XP a little bit more so, sitting at around 6,000. But even that isn't like massively substantial. Yes, it's nice. But at some point, I mean, levels, you get stats, which is great. But if you look at the hero level specifically, well, Juggernaut having a level 3 ultimate and same for Seraphine, I suppose that is pretty huge. Once Cyclones get like a level 3... Never mind. They don't care that much about their ultimate levels though, I suppose. Maybe Nature Prophet would be nice for extra damage and Freezing Field. Lasso though, you get the lower cooldown, which is good. 0.5 seconds extra duration, but it's not like as crucial for you to have, I think. I mean, Infest damage, you really don't have that ability for the damage aspect for the most part, and Assassinate, you're just not going to be able to cast it mid-fight anyway, in most of the fights.
I suppose I can see that. I mean, finding the opening for it in most fights, especially when there's threat of everything going for him.
Oh, Flash. He just blinked away, but they might catch somebody in Inuyasha. He's gonna get lassoed before the Requiem. They can bring him down, I think. His age is just expired as well, a couple of seconds. But the Yule Scepter there, they need a little bit more. Moonlight Shadow, too strong. Are you kidding me? No! Inuyasha still on the run. As is KK Zori. Inuyasha random Shadow Ray is not gonna happen. He's gonna Requiem of Souls and
He got a
catch
kill.
him in the back end. How the hell? This should have been Cyclone's fight. Mitsadom still on the run. Gets bashed once by Ascendancy. So they still get 2 kills. It should have been that much better though. Sniper would have escaped had it not been for the Shadow Fiend escaping first. And now there's no leap anymore for Dante's there. Does get an arrow, but in the end it's still a 3-4-2 fight. But Cyclones, oh wow, this Shadow Fiend. Moonlight Shadows, carry detection, boys.
Moonlight Shadow did everything there. The fact that he used himself, which gave Moonlight enough time to put him back under cover of Invis, that is pretty lucky out of Inuyasha, and he didn't get caught by any random AoE that would have killed him as well. I mean, you could have sneezed in that general direction and hit the invisible Shadow Fiend and killed him.
That Requiem though, the animation didn't reach as far as the Sniper was, but most animations go a little bit farther in reality than they do like on the screen.
Yeah, I suppose that is the case. This, however, does give Inuyasha quite the... Look at the level of Golden Farm that he's got. Where does he go from here? Satanic? Yeah, he goes for a Satanic next, maybe an MKB, and he's absolutely golden. I mean, this is a scary Shadow Fiend. This is a very scary Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, to say the least. Of course, if you can catch him like they did last time around, he really should be dead. But now with the butterfly, without the Monkey King bar coming from Lifestealer, which if he wants to go for, he's about 2.8k away or so. But man, it's just gonna be hard. You would definitely also like to finish Abyssal Blade. So Lifestealer, his farm just cannot be compared. But then again, Lifestealer does have more farm than Juggernaut, so that's nice. Juggernaut has the makings of an Eye of Skadi in the courier at the moment. The Orb of Venom plus that point booster. Inuyasha, wow, double damage. Too bad they cannot fight with that.
Double damage has been Inuyasha's rune of choice in this game. I've seen him do magical things with both the DD rune and the haste rune in this game alone. But just look at the level of aggression we've got. This is what, 42 kills in 33 minutes. This is an aggressive game. This is what we love, isn't it, Couchor?
Absolutely. I wouldn't like a passive game. Sometimes it's nice to watch, but it just isn't that nice to cast. Although sometimes when it's really like, although as much as I hate Naga Siren, seeing players just execute the fullest out of that hero is a joy in itself, even if it makes the games just complete cancer.
I suppose.
But yes, for the most part, give me like CIS style Dota, non-stop fighting. But that is Abyssal Blade finished. They must know of the butterfly being there, but made the choice to just go for Abyssal anyway.
The Abyssal may give them a chance. I would prefer to see MKB just for the certainty of being able to kill that Shadow Fiend, but it gives them a chance to bash the Shadow Fiend. I suppose the use effect will give them at least 2 seconds of stun. I think they're just hoping to be able to burst him down in time, but do we have an MKB at all? No, not even the sniper has an MKB. I feel like this could be a very big misplay coming out of Cyclones. They've got no MKBs at all, and they're going toe-to-toe with what is a farmed giant in Inuyasha.
They're gonna go all out on the fact that they lasso the Shadow Fiend again this time around, maybe a little bit more so out of position, and just burst him down, even with about a third of their attacks missing. Of course, that's like too much RNG that I would like to go for, but then again, it's like not like the sniper. If he goes for Monkey King bar now, it's just gonna have like a random Yasha plus a random Ultimate Orb. Ultimate Orb I think is gonna be a Skadi, which is gonna be an excellent item against Juggernaut to kite him around, even against the Shadow Fiend, to be honest. So for snipers, I think Skadi might even be a tad better. First of all, for his own survivability, than a straight out Monkey King bar. For Lifestealer though, I would have possibly liked the Monkey King bar over the finished Abyssal.
Yeah, I'd agree for this one. And now in comes the Moonlight Shadow. Who are we looking for? Who can we get a kill on? It seems Wee Wee Wambo is going to be the victim once again, and well, just dead. There's no way the Crystal Maiden can escape the Shadow Fiend.
That's forced.
I did hear a Mask of Madness. Mask of Madness on KK Zor. Oh, the arrow doesn't quite reach. Flash couldn't get the blink either. He had his blink on cooldown. Any of those two things would have hit, and that would have been a case of a dead
Inuyasha
sniper.
had the Yules as well, but didn't react fast enough with the item usage. That would have been absolutely massive. Although Sniper would have had buyback, but almost guaranteed would have been forced to use it as well.
However, in comes the split push from Cyclones. This is the thing, they do have the Nature's Prophet and the Life Stealer who can just infest the Prophet, and then they can just help themselves to towers anywhere on the map. This is something we're going to have to keep an eye on, because they could be looking to win this game through attrition. They just try to split push.
Well, it's working out for the time being for them. Although, Ascendancy, he also does not have buyback for now. Yeah, he's missing about 500 gold there. Oh wow, buybacks may become just a huge deal in deciding the fate of this game.
I would be inclined to completely agree. Buybacks are so important at this stage of the game, especially when you've got, Shadow Fiend, Juggernaut versus Lifestealer Sniper. If you can't buy back on that Sniper, you've got big problems, and it seems we're going to be seeing another attempt at Roshan for the Cyclone lineup. But we mentioned once before how rough it is for them with no negative armor. Even the Sniper here, they can't bring Roshan down that quickly, and we do have the full lineup of Rage here ready to go. Hoodoo takes a huge amount of front-loaded damage, but 4-staffed out. Wee Wee Wambo completely airballs his ultimate. This is not what you want from a Crystal Maiden.
So Satanic just now delivered out to the Shadow Fiend as well, and as long as he gets off the BKB, getting off Satanic is gonna, or getting back to full HP with the Satanic shouldn't be an issue. Lifestealer though, still on half HP. That was just a huge mistake having him tank it up for that long. Just have somebody carry like a Vladimir's offering. That's just way too risky, and now they back off, and they can't really fight either because of their health situation. Also the fact that Freezing Field is on cooldown, maybe not the most like reliable teamfight ultimate anyway, but it can make the difference, as we saw. Managed to kill Juggernaut in one fight, for example. But Nature's Prophet, back to the top lane he goes, has enough money for a buyback if it's necessary. But Rage now, they're gonna move into Roshan, and well, it's gonna be really fast. They have minus armor, they have Mitsa there, Shrapnel comes out, but
the shrapnel's not going to be enough. In comes the Moonlight Shadow, Flame Break over the top, but can Wuxia get anything here? I don't think they can. It's going to be a Aegis the Wave Shadow Fiend, and oh, Requiem! Doesn't quite do that much damage, but hell, they'll still lose the Lion in favor of Cyclones here, but now in comes that Omni Slash. It is shredding everyone, but where's the follow-up? They need Inuyasha's damage. Can they finish off anyone? Lasso onto Inuyasha. That's going to hold him for a few seconds longer. They'll finish off the Shadow Fiend the first time. He's coming back with that Aegis, ready to fight again. Ascendancy wants to catch him with that Abyssal. Won't manage to do so. Gonna fight through Rage with Rage, but the Satanic was popped. Snipe coming in, going to connect onto that Juggernaut, pops him with a headshot, and can we catch anyone else? The raises aren't enough, and Inuyasha needs to get the hell out of dodge. He's going to have to get into the Roshan pit and TP out, you'd think. Blinking over the top, he drops his blink dagger on the ground, and Mirana does get picked off in the backline, so Shadow Fiend still lives. And that blink dagger didn't get killed when it was on the deck, which surprises me as well.
What a great fight for Cyclones in general, though, in the end. Omni Slash, it didn't do all that much just because Cyclones, they were so grouped up and nobody else from Rage was close by. Hookshot was on cooldown at the time, I think, just because Aghanims isn't quite finished on Clockwork yet. Just tried to hookshot into the Roche pit earlier, and that was all without Sniper even having an Eye of Skydis, so next time around the kiting will be even bigger. And Juggernaut just dying to the Assassinate, also perfect Sprout from the Nature Prophet, delaying the Juggernaut's extra damage output for even a little while. The Hex target early on, had he hexed out Juggernaut instead of the Shadow Fiend, they could have killed off Juggernaut though, and not even deal with the Omni Slash, but doesn't matter because in the end, fight was great for Cyclones.
Indeed it was, and part of the reason it was so great is the fact that Rage decided, oh, we're going to take the Roshan, to which we're going to force a fight up their high ground towards their secret shop and drag it out across what is nearly 2 screens worth of space. They're good at small, clustered controlled team fights when they have either terrain control or high ground advantage. They had none of this in this fight, and Rage just lost everything near enough bar the Shadow Fiend.
I just found out something weird, totally not related to this game, but Star Ladder has been announced and the first games have started, like, straight after the announcement, like 5 minutes.
What?
Who does that? Who does
I don't know. I really don't know.
But coming back to this game now for a second, the comeback, not quite there yet. Cyclones still not in the lead in net worth or XP, but they're definitely showing that they can fight as long as the sniper just gets to stay at a safe distance. Lifestealer also had a reasonable fight, didn't get that much uptime because he also was stunned up a little bit, then there were like power cogs to keep him in place, an arrow randomly flying and connecting on him. But things aren't looking as bad as they were just before the Trosh fight. I mean, they killed Aegis, they pretty much team wiped the entirety of Rage there. And another 4.1k gold on Nature's Prophet as well, so in Nature's Prophet getting richer, do you go for Monkey King Bar now as the Nature's Prophet?
For the Nature's Prophet, I think either Monkey King Bar or Desolator. It depends, however, on the fact that if he wants to split push more and keep threatening the tier 3 on that top lane, Desolator. If he wants to come into these fights and try to right-click down that Shadow Fiend, Monkey King Bar. He has a choice to make. Does he want to fight with his team, or does he want to split push and try to win by attrition?
If those Monkey King bars come out though, I think it's kind of necessary as well, and as we saw last time around, even a Satanic Shadow Fiend wasn't like quite enough to combat. Well, of course, by that time, Shadow Fiend was maybe surrounded by a bit or a couple too many enemies, which definitely outweighed the number of teammates being there close by. But if the Monkey King bars come out on only the Lifestealer and the Sniper, even without the Niche Prophet having it, it may just be that little bit of extra that they need to kill off the Shadow Fiend fast enough. And this game is turning out to be a lot more exciting than maybe initially expected.
I remember what you said to me before. I think we were quite happy of how this has turned out. But we do have quite the late Blink Dagger pickup here for Mitsa. I think this is a case of, do we try to blink across the top and catch the sniper with an Omni Slash? That has to be what this Blakadder is for. I can't see any other reason. KK has been a royal pain in the backside for Rage this entire game, so I think that's quite the justifiable investment.
Did you just cut out, or did you really end the sentence?
Say again?
Never mind. For a second I thought your Skype cut out. Maybe it did for a second there, but should be fine now. But if you're Ascendancy, or, well, if you're even KK Zor, how highly do you prioritize finishing up a Monkey King bar? Is it worth finishing that item up with the cost of not having buyback?
That's a hard one. To me, buyback is too important to not have in this case, even at the cost of an MKB.
I suppose it's like the matter of how many buybacks in general does your team have. Because sometimes, if you fight like outside the base anyway, and you have like 5 heroes dying, having only 1 or 2 heroes of them with buyback available might not make a difference depending on how the fight goes. So sometimes it's like, screw it, like at least 3 of us don't have buyback, might as well buy it up. That's maybe more so the case when only 1 hero has buyback, just because 1 hero can't do anything. Then again, Sniper, high chance, especially now with the blink. Have they seen it on Juggernaut? I think it's definitely been in vision, not too sure if they've actually clicked on the Juggernaut to see his item progression. But if they know the blink is there, Sniper saving for buyback would be a wise choice.
Yeah, saving for the buyback is going to be necessary in my mind. The MKB will have to wait, but now we've got a 5-man smoke gank. They're looking for the Shadow Fiend, and they'll catch him with the Hex. This could be very bad, and you're actually going to get dragged back. Gets assassinated as well. They're throwing everything onto him, and he's not going to be able to survive, or is he? He catches the Yules, but will go down immediately with a Requiem Death Blast. Flash going to be the next victim. He is in a Ghost Scepter buying some time, but while this is all going on, you do have that Juggernaut going toe-to-toe with everyone, and now we get the Freezing Field. Combine that up with a double kill for Area 1, 2, 3, 4. This is pretty damn good for Cyclones. They get 3. They're chasing for more. They're trying to get... should think Edmund will be the next victim. Now comes a turn and a fight from KK Zor. Can he finish it off? Yes, he damn well can, especially with the triple kill. Help from Area.
Burn! Turn and burn. Just waited for the Mask of Madness to come off. Popped it. Got enough lifesteal going. Mirana made a slight mistake of not being close enough while activating the Starstorm, because that Starstorm I think would have gotten the kill, especially with the Mask of Madness amplified damage. What a fight. Not only that, Shadow Fiend's buyback is on cooldown.
Yep, and that's a pretty major thing. With the buyback on cooldown for that Shadow Fiend, if he goes down, this is going to be game. He is their front and, well, he is their backbone, really, for Rage. Without the Shadow Fiend, their team falls apart. They don't have enough without him. But he's the only one up right now, and they're losing tier 3, and they'll lose a full set of racks here. They need something, and
they may
more
be able to
importantly,
save racks, because Sniper isn't around, went all the way back home, doesn't want to risk just dying with half HP, and there's the Blink Earth Spike, buying some extra time, but Rage gonna come off cooldown in 3 seconds after the Hex Hands Lion. Is still alive, hookshot as well, Ascendancy. Can he attack the Rex? Nope, he's just gonna go for Hoodoo, he doesn't care. He chomps him down so fast, but another Ghost Scepter. Rax will go down in the end. Requiem of Souls with the Earth Spike, Ascendancy. He doesn't have buyback, I think. Oh wow. They stuck around for a little bit too long. Melee Rex. Was it even worth it losing the lifestealer without buyback?
No, it was not worth it. They needed more than that. The Rax, they needed both of them. They needed to get out safely as well. Melee Rax isn't enough, considering lifestealer's now down for over a minute. They can just look to force the tier 3 in response. And Shadow Fiend, I was worried that they wouldn't be able to take that fight because he didn't have a full stack of souls either, but now he's pretty much recovered, and this is going to be a full-souled Shadow Fiend going into a mid-tier 3 push with a Lifestealer with no buyback, dead for 50 seconds. This is going to be very powerful. This tier 2 at least will be melted, and I don't think they're going to defend it either.
We do also have a Aghanim Scepter finished up on the Clockwork, so 12-second cooldown only on the hookshot, and that's just stopping a Rage Lifestealer is going to be excellent. Also, if you miss a hookshot, well, in 12 seconds you can try to catch the Sniper again, who at the moment isn't doing all that much damage. I mean, he's doing a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, with just assassinates, just pure out right clicks, getting those headshots to interrupt the damage of Rage. But if you look at his attack damage itself, it's sub 200 at the moment, just because there is no Monkey King bar, no actual damaging item yet. He does have quite a bit of gold, of course, wants to save for buybacks, maybe even buyback plus Boots of Travels, quite possibly. At the moment though, they are close to Roshan. It's not up yet, but next Roshan fight, or well, the Rosh fight might be like the game deciding one.
I could agree with you there, but here's a question for you. They didn't look to push that tier 2 in when they had that advantage on a dead lifestealer. Do you think that's a bit of a wasted opportunity? Because I expected them to barrel down that lane, get at least the tier 2, maybe even the tier 3, but they just didn't.
It's probably the fact that they, of course, cannot know for sure whether Lifestealer has buyback or not. And
Arguably true.
if he had buyback and they got the kill on Shadow Fiend, that would have been GG, I think. Because Shadow Fiend, when you can't buy back, it's like, what do Rage do after they have already used the Omni Slash, for example? I mean, Juggernaut can still do a lot of damage even without the Omni Slash, but for that he needs to have kind of uninterrupted attack time, which so far he really hasn't had in the fights.
Well, seems they're looking for that smoke initiation once more. Inuyasha leading the charge. This could be quite the interesting fight coming up. If they can catch 2 heroes, 3 heroes away from the rest of the team, especially considering Nature's Prophet is top with the Lifestealer, this could actually be very potent in favor of Rage. But they need to get a good pick-off. Now comes the Moonlight Shadow. They're just going to ensure they've got control of the area completely. Area secured, boys, with that Moonlight Shadow and nothing else gained. But where do they go from here? I mean, we've got all of Cyclone taking control of Roshan. Now we get the TP in. Well, they've revealed it off with that rocket flare, but now with KK Zor here as well, Roshan is melting for once in favor of Cyclone. They're going to get themselves a Roshan, finally, with the Aegis picked up by the Lifestealer in this case. So that's going to be a pretty damn good pickup considering how tanky and how heavily this Lifestealer is right-clicking.
What a time to finally get a Roshan for their own team. One with cheese, no less, and Sniper is holding on to the cheese. Lifestealer is the one with the Aegis. And this time around, Lifestealer, nope, still doesn't quite have enough for buyback. Not to mention buyback and boots of travels, of course. But KK Zor now, cheese maybe not the most reliable thing, but should really pick up that Mach Kicking Bar, I think now. Even the Nature Prophet finishes up his own. Has an AC, Hex, and a Mach Kicking Bar. He's a force to be reckoned with now as well.
He is quite the force to be reckoned with, and those MKBs are big problems in my mind.
Just, if you look at the graphs as well, there is now about a 12k lead for Cyclones in net worth. XP, only about a 4k difference, so that's pretty small. They do back off for now. Nature Prophet, of course, isn't even close by because, well, he's farming up Ancients. He can join the fight fast anyway. But Aegis and Cheese Rage. How long are the buyback? 1 minute and 15 seconds for Shadow Fiend's buyback.
Well, the buyback is going to be necessary if the Shadow Fiend falls, and this is going to have to be a case of Rage have to play very, very carefully. One misstep and this could all be over for them. It's a much closer game than I think either of us thought, but as it stands, it could still go either way. If we look at the graphs as well, sure, it's a massive net worth advantage for Cyclone, but they can still lose their heroes so easily. I mean, Sniper isn't exactly the tankiest hero. Lifestealer can frontline for a while, but if he gets caught out by, say, Mitsa and his Basher or an Omni Slash, then the Lifestealer will still even die.
So, sorry, chat is just crazy. Although Flash, Ghost Scepter to the rescue, the Lifestealer, really fast reactions with the Rage Flash. Look at the damage from Assassinate into the Ghost Scepter. Double-edged sword, although Infest was used, and well, he's running around as a melee creep.
Well, we'll see as the arrow will fly through and unfortunately catch a creep in this case, but tower's denied by Inuyasha. Setting up for that fight.
Nobody will understand it's him.
Oh, the Lifestealer creep. Fear the Lifestealer creep. The very fast Lifestealer creep, in fact. Gotta respect that.
Another Assassinate into Flash. They're just making Lion back off.
Yep, and now they're going to be forced to commit. They're not even going to be able to snipe Hoodoo this time, and down goes the first Rax on this bottom lane, but in comes a Requiem! Catches on everyone, but lasso up onto Inuyasha. That's going to hold him there while Ascendancy goes to town, but Mitsa will try to kill off the sniper in the back lines, doing what he can, but that Skadi is just buying so much time. Death Pulse by the Shadow Fiend, buyback as well, trying to buy all the time they can, but all of Cyclone are still alive and kicking. They're going to even go for that second Rax. If they can finish it off, that's going to be quite ideal. Buyback from the Juggernaut as well. Arrow to fly through. Doesn't hit on anyone, unfortunately. It misses Ascendancy by a hair, but seems this fight will continue. And the Rax will fall. Can Rage get anything in exchange? I don't think they can. And Wee Wambo is even being ballsy up on that high ground as well.
Nature's Prophet.
How often do you see a Crystal Maiden that ballsy?
He went to solo, or not solo, but well, he went to zone out by himself. The Shadow Fiend and the Mirana. That's how ballsy that Crystal Maiden is. Come on. Oh, no area. Why didn't you bring like 8 healing salves with you? Just heal up the Lifestealer. He did just come back from base, but I don't think it matters because it's gonna be supersized mega creeps.
Yeah, unfortunately it seems Rage are going to lose this one. Inuyasha looks to be going down one more time, but it seems one last stand coming out of Rage. Unfortunately, Lasso back from the Shadow Fiend, from the Batrider onto the Shadow Fiend, and that'll be enough to clean it up. And that's Mega Creeps, this time in favour of Cyclone.
Well, Flash will stay alive at least for a little while longer, gets the Finger of Death off. But last fight, they really did try to just focus the Sniper down before he gets his cheese off. They got the Hex, Finger of Death, Omni Slash as well. But Omni Slash came like a half second too late, so Sniper got off the cheese just before I think the last tick, maybe 2 ticks of Omni Slash. And without the Sniper dying, getting back to full HP, it was just too much for them to handle. Of course, going into 2 extra lives with 3 cores being this extremely farmed. Just a solo Shadow Fiend, he really isn't the best late game carry, to be honest, no matter how farmed you are. And also the fact that BKBs going down to 5 seconds, even if Frostbite can a little bit screw you over there, just mitigate your satanic timing, for example. But Team Cyclones do win this game, so most important thing, our bets end up as 1-1.
God damn it. I will get my revenge.
But this also has implications to Rage, of course. Now that they didn't win 2-0, they will have to go into a tiebreaker against the Adventure of 5 Idiots.
That's a team name, really.
That's a team name, yes. They used to be Space Soldiers before, but it's gonna be to decide who gets to stay in Division 2 and who gets, or well, who has to go into the Division 2 and 3 playoffs. So Team Cyclones kind of denying Rage from that easy Division 2 access. But this will be the end for now. We're gonna have one more game in, is it really an hour and 20 minutes because this went for so long? In an hour and 20 minutes on hitbox.tv/HeflaTV HP1, there is gonna be Pain Gaming versus Isurus Gaming. So a great game for the South American Challenge. But for this channel, we are done for the day, guys. Appreciate it that you came. Just shout out to the chat, of course, as well. And what can I say? Man, awesome game.
Bring on more. Bring on more games like that. More fun.
But bring on games like that without the start being delayed. Yes.
Yes. Yes. We're looking at you teams.
So with this, we're done now. A few songs to finish the stream and just have a good one, guys.
Peace out, guys.